Hello, hello. Hey, M100. It's Lori. Hey. I am, as always, so excited to get with you tonight and do a little live stream with Lori. I hope that tonight I'm able to give you some inspiration. I hope that I'm able to help you create some clarity around creating your reality and transforming yourself, your life, mostly both, actually. So I was doing some reviews of my business not too long ago, as in like last week. And I watched something from 2018 and I was just like trying to figure out, what I was keeping on platform basically. And all of a sudden I was watching myself and I was watching myself tell this story about my life where I was. And it was in 2018, by the way. 18, 19, 20, 22, 4 years ago. And I was like, wow, that was a major quantum leap. And so I wanted to talk today because I know that like the quantum leap experience really is what some of you desire. And it's not just because you want things to happen faster, but you want this really expansive, delicious life experience, magical, one with the quantum field kind of experience in your life. A lot of you that come to me are spiritual. You have been around the block a time or two and, definitely have watched The Secret. Hold on. Have watched The Secret and, all the things. And we really, really want to get up to speed with our desire. So, and quickly. So I'm the first one to say that I'm not into like quick fixes, but I'm the first one to also say that I'm definitely into the quick shift. And I'm definitely into living a quantum life and definitely into making amazing progress quickly, I just cannot fix this today, making very quick motion, but it isn't because we do tricks and backflips. It's because we transform really like who we are. Because here's what I know: to quantum leap, yes, it is an experience, and through our humanness we experience quantum leaps to go very fast. That's really what that means. When I quantum leaped, that I can't believe how fast I went and how far I went, how expanded it was. It was a quantum leap. So I know that that's that feeling that we're looking for. And I think that's what I want to start and kind of identify tonight as we are even talking about this topic, because quantum leaps, we want them. And on the flip side of the quantum leaps, sometimes we don't want them, depending on how we judge it, right? Sometimes a quantum leap isn't always, it isn't always rainbows and unicorns. Sometimes the quantum leap is, oh my gosh, my life changed so fast. And now I have an opportunity to create something different with it. So I wanted to talk about this because I know that on some level, we've all had kind of a quantum leap experience, okay? So I have them really often where I'm like, holy smokes, there was just a massive string of synchronistic unfolding that I could not possibly have thought up, that I could have planned, and that got me from point A to point B. And so if I look back on my life, if I look back on the things that have happened, there is a place, there is a formula, there is a come from that I want to like share with you a little bit tonight. And there are so many come froms, but when you look at like, when does a quantum leap actually happen for me? Like, what needs to shift within me? That's my very first question to you. But I also want to, I think, highlight that, quantum leap isn't just an experience of I got somewhere very fast and it seemed like I collapsed that timeline, right? It's not just that I went from point A to point B quickly. It's not just about the speed of it or the expansion of it, but it really is about a feeling place, right? So I like to always say, hey, when you quantum leap, it really is a vibrational match to what's going on within you. So to quantum leap in your life, it is a feeling, it is a frequency, it is a come from, it is a belief system. So I want to go over, some things with you tonight that can lean you in the direction of having quantum leaps unfold in your experience more often than not. And you're gonna be interested, I think, in the way that I like frame this up for you, because we think, number one, and I talk about this when I talk about money and opportunity and stuff, but we think that like the experience of the quantum leap is like limited. We're like, whoa, that only happens, for special people, you know what I mean? Whatever that means, or that doesn't happen for me, or we have some like kind of measure around that. And I want to just say, you guys, that's not really true at all. I mean, we all have the ability to change quickly. We all have the ability truly to make massive, massive change in our life. And it's not just because we're at choice. I mean, that's the obvious, like we're at choice and we can make any choice we choose at any given time. But it's really because the universe has your back. And a quantum leap would suggest it isn't about what I figure out. It isn't about that. It's about getting up to speed with myself. It's about getting up to speed with the universe, and absolutely getting out of the universe's way. So I want to chat a little bit about that tonight. I've got some things that I want to mill around a little bit, but my daughter was applying for school. Oh, sorry. So she's graduating. Let me rewind. My son is applying for school. My daughter was applying for jobs. So my daughter is applying for jobs, and she is moving out of state. And, it's like her first job out of her program, right? Out of her teaching degree. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm moving to this other state and I have to apply and I don't know where all these schools are. And, and she's trying to figure all of this out. And there was lots of noise going on for her for a little while. And I looked at her and I said, honey, get out of the universe's way. Like you have to almost get yourself so far out of the way for a moment so that speed can pick up and you can enjoy this ride, because otherwise we stand so rooted, so grounded, so in our head that we can't even make a shift. So anyway, fast forward, she laughed and I'm like, would you please just let this unfold? Would you please just please, And so she interviewed and she got a job offer. Of course, the very first people that interviewed her, they wanted her. The second people, they wanted her. More people, they wanted her. And it was like all of a sudden, she's literally having what's feeling like, well, that was easy. That happened fast. So, but she literally had to, with some coaching and with some like chilling out and with some letting go, she had to get out of her own way. And in the same breath, nurture, and in the same breath, take such beautiful care of her humanity, such beautiful care of her humanness, right? That she was able to like stand in a place and receive that which she had coming to her. Now you guys might say, well, teaching jobs, they are not abundant, they're wildly abundant. So of course she got a job, right? So, and I'm going to say, one of those things that's going on in your head about the judgment of how things should unfold or why it unfolded is one of the reasons why those are the same set of beliefs that say why I don't get a quantum leap yourself, right? So the same set of rules starts to apply. Of course she got a job. Of course that wasn't a real quantum leap. The job market, right, is, look, there's a huge need for teachers. Yes. But she manifested not only like the first one, she manifested many, and she manifested the one that felt really good. So you can quantum leap all day long and not manifest that which you desire. So I wanna start to challenge you a little bit, because the very first way that we're gonna start to have you quantum leaping is to literally say, holy smokes, am I in the universe's way? So I'm all about meeting the universe 100% of the way, showing up, taking divinely inspired, beautiful action, staying in such amazing alignment in myself. I'm all about this. But there's a part of you that if you want quantum leaps to happen in your life, you have to ask yourself, am I in the universe's way? With my beliefs, with my attitudes, with my judgments, with my noise, with my stuff, with my thinking about how it needs to happen. So you have to ask yourself, am I actually in the universe's way? Because quantum leaps, let's be honest, they feel like miracles. They feel like magic. They feel like a divine unfolding. They feel like synchronicity, and they happen when you can get in alignment with them. So right out of the gate, I want you to ask yourself, am I in the universe's way? That's number one. And number two is I want you to ask yourself, just reflect back for a moment. Have I ever had a quantum leap that was really lovely? And how did that happen for me? Because there's all kinds of different ways. I have quantum leaps happen when I stand in my goddess self, right? I created a whole program around goddess. I have quantum leaps happen when I stand in my goddess self and I keep myself so clear that of course I'm going to attract and manifest that. But there's other pieces to this puzzle as well. So quantum leaps happen for me when is the next question that I want you to take a look at. Because there is like this instrument of you that you can fine tune. And I know for myself, I'm going to give you some of this is what fine tunes me up, right? And I have shared some of this with you guys in the past, but I want to like have you look at, yeah, Lori, I hear what you're saying, but I want to like turn into like, I want to pay attention to what tunes me up, what helps me touch that magic, what helps me have things move forward quickly. What would that look like? Or what did that look like? Quantum leaps happen when for you? Like, what does that look like? Start to explore that, because when you find that and find what has worked for you amazingly before, you can get back to that. So quantum leaps happen for me when, tell me what it feels like to you. Most of you, I believe, are going to say that it was a time when you surrendered. It's a time when you maybe let go. And which brings me to my first point, that quantum leaps happen when I start to get softer. I start to shift my belief systems. I start to shift my perspective. I start to open my heart. I start to surrender. I start to let go of how I think it needs to happen. And all of a sudden, it does. Magic. Quantum leaps happen for me when? Okay? So for me, there's some energy around decision. I'm not going to talk about that tonight so much, but there's some energy around decision that it's like I pepper in this amazing pointed energy of decision with this also letting go mix, and it's beautiful. And all of a sudden we're showing up and things are starting to move, and they're moving quickly, and it's beautiful, and it's a synchronistic magic carpet ride, right? Melissa Hay, when I shut off my ego and stop the noise, right? Wendy, quantum leaps happen for me when I'm happy, just when you're happy, right? So start looking into like, what does this look like for me? Quantum leaps happen for me when I'm in alignment. And I know that's a buzzword, but when I stay in alignment, when I tend to myself, when I do my practices, quantum leaps happen for me when? So number one, right? Well, I maybe don't want to go on numbers today, but get softer. I want to invite you to get softer in your belief system and open your heart. And on the flip side of that, because I know egos are like going wonky when we are doing that, we're like, on the other side of that is let go of everything I think I know. Because a quantum leap isn't really supposed to make sense. That's why it's so invigorating. How did that happen so fast? I can't even tell you. I got out of my own way. I expected something amazing. And all of a sudden, here it just unfolded. And of course it did. So there's this decision and there's this expectancy. I like to teach you guys in like formulas, right? So I want you to think about like a step one to that. I'm going to let go of everything I think I know, right? Because there's ways to find your space in there. But I want you to think about like getting softer in your belief, getting softer in your perspective, asking yourself maybe the question like, maybe I don't know. Maybe something's possible that I'm not really considering, which leads me to the next point, is I want you to think about these words, calibrate to the possibility. So I love this word possibilitarian, right? And what I know is that I am a possibilitarian. And I teach this juice about becoming a possibilitarian, how to stand in being in that kind of possibility. But you really have to calibrate your energy to, I am a possibilitarian. Anything is possible and I am limitless. It's like there's some fine tuning that happens there when all of a sudden you're like, okay, it's true. Anything can happen. I am a possibilitarian. And when I get out of my own way, I just felt myself go about 5 miles per hour. I'm teasing you. Faster, I just raised my vibration. And when I raise my vibration, and when I start thinking it from a different lens, through a different lens, I find myself creating much more than I ever thought I could in my life. That means magic starts happening. When you calibrate to possibility, or you calibrate to a new understanding, or you calibrate to a new philosophy, or you calibrate to a different belief system, right? All of a sudden, quantum leaps are possible. So to quantum leap is a feeling. It totally is like, this is a feeling, but it's also an experience, but it's also something that you receive and that you allow in, and something that moves through you. When I was, so travel back in time, literally, there was that show, Quantum Leap, right? There was that show back in the day, and Sam Beckett was the guy. And Sam would get in his little time machine apparatus and he'd be spit out on the other side of something, 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 right? He'd be spit out and he'd be a totally, completely different person on the other side, dressed in cowboy, dressed in whatever, right, for the times. But what's interesting is that like the leap in time also went along with a change in my identity, a change in who I be, a change in who I think. So on the flip side of let's get softer and let go of everything you think you know, on the flip side of calibrating to possibility and your limitlessness is this question that I have for you is, am I willing to be spit out into my tomorrow? So go to sleep. Wake up tomorrow, time machine style, and am I willing to transform myself, shift myself, show up as that possibilitarian, as that person who is, a millionaire, as that person who creates abundance because she can, as that person who knows that she doesn't get stuck by what the mind sees and what the mind believes, but what she creates. So I want to like have you feel into this. You feel this like to quantum leap, and to having a quantum leap experience is to really become it. So yes, I'm going to get softer in my belief, and I'm going to start to let go of all that I think that I know, because inside of that openness is everything's possible for me, and that's magic. And yes, to calibrate to possibility, and yes, to calibrate to being the possibilitarian, but am I willing to show up, spit out into my tomorrow, like I just traveled through time, I quantum leaped, and tomorrow I show up, transformed and willing and ready and powerful and with a different frequency on and a different belief of myself? Am I willing to like be like, wow? And I call that like, when we step into the highest version of yourself, or the quantum version of you, like who would she be? So to create quantum leaps, you want to lean into becoming your quantum self. And to become the quantum self, we have to let go of what we think we know. So we open up everything. So in that same vein, and we're starting to feel like this is a frequency, right? To quantum leap is a frequency. Alignment is a frequency, yes. Manifestation has this, it's a frequency. The zone of manifestation is a frequency. Alignment is a frequency. So when you go into this place of like, I want to quantum leap my life. I want to have fast change beautifully. I need to become a vibrational match to that. What does a quantum leap feel like to me? How would she be in her business every morning? What would she do? What would she embody? How would she act? What would she say? You know, would she entertain limits? Or would she say, I'm following every single breadcrumb? Because in every single breadcrumb of synchronicity that has been dropped before me is quantum information that I must pick up, that I must devour, that must help me unfold my life and my reality. So to be a match, you know, to the quantum leap, you have to be willing to lean into your quantum self. And that means get up over your thoughts, your beliefs, your ego. You know, get up over that and see like absolutely through the lens of your limitlessness, but also the limitlessness of life. So on the notion of being up to speed and standing in your quantum self, I want you to feel into this for a minute. We have been taught to, you know, develop a relationship with God. We have taught develop a relationship with our higher self, taught to develop a relationship with our people, taught to develop a relationship with our soul family, etc., 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 with our soul partner, all of that. But no one says develop a relationship, like an actual relationship with the quantum field. No one says that. And what's really interesting is like the quantum field runs through you. You're standing on it all the time. But we feel like when we go and manifest our reality and become more of who we are and go to create the kind of wealth and the kind of like abundance and the kind of prosperity that we want to create in our life, no one says, I need to develop a relationship with this quantum field, right? We do things, especially in these parts, right? We say, thank you, universe, one more, please. That's like in relationship with the quantum field. I totally, but there's something even deeper than that. Developing a relationship with the quantum field is like developing this relationship of trust, developing this relationship of trust in the divine unfolding, developing this dance almost. It's like this partnership. And when I show up, the universe shows up. When I show up, the quantum field is right there. When the quantum field shows up, I'm there too. And it's like, whoa, it's this beautiful partnership that when you come to really trust that and you come to interact with the quantum field in a way, it really is about, you know, a kind of love that I don't even really have words for. You know, it can be really that profound. So a few things also, I mean, I can feel myself completely like, whoa, up in clouds tonight, right? Like way up. But that's where the quantum field like lives. Or sorry, that's where the quantum leap lives. It doesn't so much, quantum leaps, you know, they're experienced through our physical, but they happen and they move through you from this quantum experience. So what I want you to think about is like, how can I be a match to the quantum leap? I need to be a match to my quantum self. I need to let go really truly of everything I think I know about how things will happen, what time they will happen in, and start to say things like, change happens fast. I used to say that here on the M100. If you hashtag, if you Google or hashtag or search the group, I used to make a post that said, change happens fast. So it's like, I can go to, right, this conversation about when you shift, life shifts, but you have to find an entry point. And it might sound like, hang on, I wrote this down. It was change happens fast. Oh, and one more thing. Oh, yes. Change happens fast, and I am choosing to open to good things happening now. Because the quantum leap also doesn't happen like in the past. It doesn't happen in the future. It happens in the now. And it happens, it's like the feeling of synchronicity. So, you know, to be a vibrational match to that is turn your attention to it, number one. Make some choices around it, number two. I choose to stand in my quantum self. But also, I choose to soften my beliefs. I choose to calibrate to the energy of possibility and limitlessness. I choose to focus on where I have made quantum leaps in my life before. I choose to like relax into this miraculous, wonderful unfolding. And when I am in the way, which is all up here, I'm going to notice that and I'm going to be like, whoa, I need to do the work on my humanness, in my ego, in my mind, to allow more of this light to pour through me. So quantum leaps happen when, identify it for you, and then go, let me ask myself some questions. Am I softer in my belief? Can I get softer in my perspective? Can I calibrate to possibility? Can I develop a relationship with the quantum field? Can I open up to good things that are happening now? Can I open up to change happens fast? Can I be there? Can I make that shift? And can I transform myself? And can I say, my work is to become my quantum self. And when I do, I become a match to the quantum field. And I also become a vibrational match to the quantum shift. So you're all going to ask me, how do I do that? You know? But I want you to lean into some piece here that feels good to you and know that like everything is possible. And your first job is to really entertain that and say, where am I blocking myself? Where am I not allowing the universe, right? Where am I not allowing the universe to move through me, to move through my life? And when I have been given sign after sign and sync after sync and opportunity after opportunity, where am I shutting that down? Where am I shutting that down? Where am I saying, no, I don't think so, universe. No, I don't think so, universe. No, I don't think so, universe. Where am I doing that? Because we do. And it's like, you want to go, girl, show up. Universe is showing up for you. There's quantum leaps seeded all around you. But when you are rooted in measuring, and when you are rooted in judgment of yourself or others, when you are rooted in this can't happen because, when you're rooted in everybody gets good except me, when you're rooted in magic can't happen, when you're rooted in miracles aren't possible, when you're there, of course you're not a match to the quantum leap, because quantum leaps happen on the quantum field when you're being your quantum self and letting go enough to allow the universe to like move through you magically and quickly and swiftly. Time is only a thing to our humanity. Time is not a thing to the universe. Do I believe in divine time? I believe in divine unfolding. Yeah, so I do. But I want you to feel into the difference, you know? Yeah, I believe in divine time as divine unfolding. But when you say it takes this long too, or it takes that much time, then we are always, we shut it down. We shut it down. So your belief, your perspective, your lens, your come from of who you are in yourself is the dictator and is the predictor of, do I have quantum leaps happen in my life? Do I have them happen in my life? And if I want more, I have to level up my vibe. I have to level up my beliefs. I have to level up my vibration. I have to transform it all. One of the best things that I ever did was to say, everything is true and nothing is true. And I might as well embrace an operating system that actually serves me, that actually is a amazing, just checking time, amazing vibrational match to good things happening quickly. Change happens fast. Good things happen to me now. Big, beautiful things happen miraculously and magically because I say so. And why? Because that's what we're manifesting. So Tim and I went to, we're like, it's time to manifest the house. Not that we weren't dreaming it up before, but there was this point at which literally everyone said the housing market sucks. Everything is going to be too highly priced. All the things are going to be bad. You're not going to get what you want. You're not going to get the detail you want, etc., 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 etc. I could say a few more etceteras. And here's what's crazy beautiful, is not only did the timeline collapse, not only did we quantum leap, but the right house at the perfect divine unfolded time dropped in our lap effortlessly. And it would appear that we were lucky. It would appear that, well, good things happen to some of you, right? It would appear like it's not that. It's hopeful and expectant and getting out of our own way and literally creating this. What did we want? We knew exactly what we wanted. And it unfolded like quantum leap style. So I've told you guys some of that story. But, it isn't that quantum leaps happen to some people. Quantum leaps happen to you. It is not that quantum leaps happen only for some people once in a while. They're available to you because they are, period. So it's just, are you willing to get up to speed with the quantum leap that the universe has in store for you? And that means shifting what's going on here, getting out of your way, getting out of the universe's way. And if you're going to choose the things, if you're going to choose a belief system, if you're going to choose an operating system, if you're going to choose a frequency, which, by the way, you can't get away with not having a frequency, because you believe something. You either believe in the quantum leap or you don't. You have a belief about quantum leaps. You have a belief. And you have a belief about the things that you want or the things that you desire. You have a belief. And you have some story. You have some stuff going on about whether or not how that will or won't happen for you, or the time it will take, or. So, I want you to be cognizant, what am I making up? What am I making up? Because the quantum field, whether you have a relationship with it or not, or her or not, or him or not, I don't know. The quantum field runs through you and you're standing on it right now. And so I want to encourage you to take a look at what you're bringing to that dance party, because you are dancing with the quantum field right now. And so if your dance party includes, I'm not enough, if it includes good things don't happen for me, if it includes negative money stories, right? If it includes any of the noise, you can be guaranteed that you put a stop on the timeline. You can be guaranteed that there is a slowing down, because everything is energy, and the universe's energy moves fast and beautiful and quick and doesn't have time to sit around and think, $1 million isn't possible for me. The universe is like, well, yeah, we've got this, right? $1 million, that's possible for all kinds of people. So why wouldn't it be for me? We're all standing on the same field. If that's your desire, that's your desire. Of course, you can create that. You just can. So, I want to bring your attention back to quantum leaps happen for you when, pay attention. Quantum leaps happen for me when I create tons and tons and tons of alignment with synchronistic unfolding. Tons and tons of alignment with synchronicity. They happen for me when I stand on my goddess self and rise. They happen for me when I make decisions. This is happening. This is happening. This is happening. They happen for me when I do some of all these things, right? I have to calibrate powerfully to the possibilitarian that exists within me, and I would invite you to do the same. And if you don't have the possibilitarian dialed up in you, or you find yourself being in an identity, right? not able to stand in like the new, stronger identity of yourself to manifest the dream and desire that you want, even if it's not quantum leap style, the timeline style. If you find yourself there, then look at yourself and say, how am I stopping myself? How am I in the way? And you could be too hooked into how it needs to happen. It could be something as simple as that. Too hooked into the how. I talk to people all the time. They're just like, my problem is I just can't see how this is going to happen. And I'm like, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to let it unfold, and you're supposed to pick up every breadcrumb and every synchronicity and stand in your quantum self and rise, goddess. That's how you're supposed to do it. And unhook from time. Of course this can happen. Of course this can happen. Of course this can happen, because change can happen fast, and good things happen to you now, and you will come to expect them. So the work comes back to, you have to develop your quantum self. You have to develop yourself. You have to get, out of your humanity. I always say up over it. The way that I teach about this is we have to get up over ourselves, but we have to get up over ourselves and activate a different frequency. And we have to activate a different kind of energy, a different frequency. I call it a sequence or a stack. I have to activate something in you that allows you to vibrate higher than you would than from your ego self that sits in your comfort zone and doesn't think anything is possible and thinks only the good things happen to some. So, I want you to take a look at like what feels resonant to you. Quantum leaps happen when you know that there's one shift in here for you tonight. There's one thing that you could say, I'm going to work on that, or I want to explore more of that, or I need to jump on that like right now because I know I'm absolutely in my own way. This is a bit of the energetics. The way that I teach, and for those of you that are new to me, I didn't even really introduce myself properly. But I teach, I'm Lori, the coach of the Manifestation 100, Manifestation 100. But, I teach a bit of psychology, and we teach absolutely metaphysics, and we teach absolutely through the lens of universal law, And it's like, there is change available for you, one nugget, one thing. And this, like I was saying, is more of the energetics piece. Like, how can I get out of my own way fast energetically? Because I always say this, when you shift, life shifts. When you make that shift, life can unfold for you. Absolutely 100%. So you can be presented with doorway upon doorway upon doorway. The universe is like this. How about this door? How about this door? How about this door? And you're like, I don't know. I just want a quantum leap. But all you need to do is choose. Pick one and let yourself be carried. Pick one and expect good things to happen. Pick one and know you couldn't make the wrong choice. We have so much noise going on for us. We sabotage ourselves all the time. So quantum leaps happen when? And I'm going to just dabble around this one more time, and I know that I keep repeating, but I keep adding things kind of in layers tonight. Soften your perspective, your belief, open your heart, and on the flip side of that, go the distance and say, I'm going to unhook from everything I think I actually know about how this needs to go down right now, because the universe is magic, so am I, and it's time for me to level up, calibrate up to what's possible. And if that's going to happen, what has been going on in my mind has limited me, and it's not working for me anymore. So it's about wanting and, letting that go. Calibrating to the possibility of limitlessness. Most of the time, spiritual seekers in my world will say, I believe in limitlessness. I am a possibilitarian. But they secretly, it's like nighttime eating, nobody knows. Secretly, they're going and they're saying, I really don't believe. Like, I want to believe. I know it's right to believe, but I really don't think that's possible. So there's a calibration and an expansion. When I say calibration, it's an expansion of a frequency within you It gets in your bones. There's an expansion of that frequency that lets you make massive shifts. So it's one thing to say it, it's one thing to know it, it's another thing to be it and hold it in you. It's like we have to bring ourselves back to that. And the reason I know that we all struggle with this is because I speak these truths every single day. And I struggle with this sometimes. I'm like, gosh, am I a match to the quantum leap? Am I a match to my limitlessness? Am I a match to the possibilitarian I brag to be? Not so much that, and not so much today, sister. Clear that up, because what do you want to create today? I tough love myself because I can, but I do it playfully. So, we know, all of you will say, Lori, I know better. I'm like, I know, we know better, but we have to embody that. We have to walk our talk. We have to show up, and we have to make choices in our life that actually move energy, right? To have this timeline collapse, to have this quantum leap, unfold in our existence. So I want you to think about that. Let me know if this is helpful, by the way. I know that I'm seeing that some of you are finding me. Let me know if this is helpful. If anything, I want you to feel the frequency of what happens when you do quantum leap and what it would feel like if you did let yourself be spit out into your tomorrow with a bit new identity and a bit of like, let me transform myself. Whoa, I'm transformed. I have a new identity. I choose a new identity. I'm going to stand in something different. For the first time in a long time, I'm going to make a choice. I'm going to make a choice for myself today, not based on where I am, but where I want to be. That's a huge, huge shift. That's quantum thinking. That's a vibrational match to the quantum leap. Okay. Developing a relationship with the quantum field. I'll say it one more. Open up to good things happen now. Open up to change happens fast, change happens fast, change happens fast, because it does, it can, it's all around you. The only thing that holds you back from change not happening fast is you thinking that you have to take the time, or it takes time, or it doesn't happen for you, or we're hooked into time too much. I talk about that so much sometimes. I talk about that so much in some of my programming, but it's like we think it needs to take time. So the next point, transform and shift yourself. I think I've already said it 1,000 times tonight. So my apologies for riffing in a way that went in circles. However, I want you to feel the energy, and the frequency and what's possible when you really do step into and choose to be a vibrational match to the quantum leap. And that is directly, I choose to step into my quantum self, because when you're in your quantum self, that's where the magic happens, igniting all of these possibilities, and all of a sudden the synchronicities start to bless your life and the magic starts to happen, and you're like, I don't even know what happened here. I don't even understand it. And I say, good, you're not supposed to know it. You're supposed to remember it and feel it, and of course align with your power, because it's been there all along. So I love you, C. Ellis. So I'm just a ball of energy for you today. And so take what works and leave the rest behind, whatever works for you. Tell me what your takeaway was today, and if there was anything that resonated and helped you remember and helped you wake up, not only to like your power, but what's possible, and that the quantum leap is possible if you say so. Let's start with that, right? If you say so. So I love and adore you all. If you feel like you want to take the next step, if you want to level up, drop me a hashtag ready in the chat below. I would love to talk to you. I would love to talk to you about next steps. I would love to talk to you about getting aligned with your quantum self, getting aligned with the quantum field, getting aligned with living a quantum life. Hashtag ready in the chat below. I would love, 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 love to connect with you. I will reach out as soon as you do, and we'll schedule a time to chat. So tell me what your takeaway is. Tell me the one thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good things happen now, Wendy. Awesome. And Jennifer, awesome. Change happens fast. Sweet. Keep them coming. I would love to hear from you even after this replay or this video, after this live stream ends. I would love to hear, like, what are your takeaways? Because one shift can open up like some major things for you. Even when you start to entertain it, you're like, whoa, this just moved me. And when it moves you and you feel like this lift and this remembrance of who you really are, like, holy smokes, imagine what happens when you start to change and overhaul the operating system and you upgrade to a quantum operating system. It's like one little shift, you feel this movement, you feel this like pull forward, and you're like, oh my gosh, I think I'm remembering what's possible and who I am, and that I can create anything that I desire. And my job is to do only that. So much can happen when you start just turning your attention to it. So get really tuned in, ask yourself the questions, ask yourself the questions that I asked you, on live tonight, and see what comes up for you, because it's not just you making this stuff up. Your inner being is talking to you, the universe is talking to you, your guidance is talking to you, and really giving you like guidance. Your guidance is offering guidance. So wise tonight. Your guidance is offering breadcrumbs so that you can pick them up and say, where should I go from here? So with that said, all right, everyone, have a great, great rest of your night. Get in alignment, be the quantum leap, be your quantum self, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.